Africa has never seen anything like this. On July 24, 2025, Burkina Faso delivered a diplomatic earthquake right in the heart of Washington, D.C. No begging, no bowing, just bold, unapologetic pride. General Kassoum Coulibaly walked into the White House, not in a suit, but in the usual Burkina Faso traditional wear. And in that moment, the power dynamic shifted. This wasn't just diplomacy, this was history in motion. Before we dive deeper into this powerful story, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth, and subscribe to the channel if you believe Africa must rise with dignity. Drop a comment below. Do you think Traoré bold strategy is the future for all African leaders? Let the world know Africa is not silent anymore. He shook hands with President Donald Trump, eye to eye, soldier to soldier. A handshake that stunned the world. Not because Trump offered respect, but because Coulibaly, backed by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, demanded it. And for once, the most powerful office on earth had no choice but to respond. That image, Coulibaly in African traditional wear, Trump standing tall, shattered the old script. This wasn't an African diplomat coming to ask for aid. This was a warrior of liberation, stepping into the empire and announcing, "We are no longer your subjects. We are your equals." Let's rewind just 2 weeks. July 9th, Trump hosted 5 African presidents. They stood around him like statues, while he lounged in his chair like a colonial king. A viral photo captured it all: Western arrogance, African submission. Coulibaly changed that. His uniform wasn't just fabric, it was symbolism. He represented the new Burkina Faso, bold, sovereign, defiant. One that walks into any room with its head held high. Inside the White House, Coulibaly's speech made waves. He spoke of victories under Traoré's leadership, the return of displaced families, the reclaiming of territory from terrorists, the rebirth of national pride. He wasn't requesting partnership. He was asserting independence. He said, "Thanks to the mobilization of our people, Burkina Faso is building a secure, sovereign, and resilient state. Not with foreign aid, not with begging, but with our own hands, our own gold, and our own resolve." Traoré's fingerprints were all over that moment. This wasn't random diplomacy. This was strategic, calculated. A message to the West: Africa is awake, and the era of silent exploitation is over. Since 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has torn up the colonial playbook. He expelled French troops. He ended exploitative mining contracts. He redirected Burkina Faso's gold profits back into the nation, funding schools, clinics, and security forces. He visits rural villages. He speaks directly to the people. He governs with mud on his boots, not champagne in his office. And that's why his ambassador came dressed like a soldier, because this is not politics. It's a revolution. If this story moved you, if you believe Africa deserves leaders who serve the people, not foreign masters, then don't just watch. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it so the world hears our roar, and drop a comment. What does African dignity mean to you? This is more than content. This is the movement. Pan-African Hub, where Africa speaks for itself. Now contrast that with July 9th, when Senegal, Mauritania, Liberia, Gabon, and Guinea-Bissau came to Washington. It wasn't to lead. It was to pose. Trump sat while they stood. He praised their land, their minerals, never their ideas. Senegal offered him land to build a golf course. Liberia's president was praised for speaking English, the country's official language for 200 years. The whole thing felt like a stage play, but one where Africa was given a role without dignity. Social media reacted with fury. "This isn't leadership," one user wrote. "It's surrender wrapped in smiles." That's why Coulibaly's meeting was different. It felt powerful. It felt earned. Because it was rooted in pride, not politeness. So why is the US suddenly warming up to Traoré's Burkina Faso? Because the West is panicking. The Sahel is slipping from their hands. A region they once controlled is now defiant, unified under the alliance of Sahel states. France is gone. Russia is in. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have formed a new bloc, AES, with a mission: African sovereignty, not foreign puppetry. In the West, they're scrambling. Travel warnings. Fake news about Traoré. Accusations from U.S. generals. They even claimed he was hoarding gold. But the people know better. On April 30th, thousands marched for Traoré in Ouagadougou, and in London, Paris, and New York. Why? Because Traoré represents something rare: a leader who doesn't sell Africa out, a leader who listens to his people, a leader who demands that our resources benefit us first. He's not alone. Across Africa, youth are chanting his name. IB. In Nigeria, students in Ghana study his speeches. Activists in South Africa call him the new Sankara. This is no longer local. It's continental. What Traoré has created is more than policy. It's a doctrine. The Traoré Doctrine. 1. Reclaim our wealth. 2. Reject conditional aid. 3. Build multipolar alliances. 4. Serve the people directly. It's working. Burkina Faso now keeps 70% of its gold profits. No more Swiss bank accounts. That money builds roads in Kaya, hospitals in Dori, defense in Djibo. It builds a nation, not the empire. When the U.S. sent Will Stevens to Ouagadougou in July, Traoré refused to meet him. He sent his foreign minister instead. It wasn't a snub. It was a message: we engage on equal terms, or not at all. That's why the July 24th White House visit matters. It was the conclusion of Traoré's strategy. A man in fatigues, a handshake with a superpower, a nation standing tall, and the West, for once, silent. The question now is, will other African leaders learn? Or will they continue the dance of deference, shaking hands while selling their nations behind closed doors? July 24th is now a reference point, a symbol of what happens when a nation respects itself first. And when it does, even the mighty must acknowledge it. Burkina Faso didn't just change the tone of diplomacy, it changed the posture. It walked in standing tall, and walked out with the world watching. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has redefined African leadership, not with speeches, but with action, not through flattery, but through force of will. That he has shown Africa what is possible when you lead with pride, strategy, and courage. The lion of the Sahel has roared, and now the world is listening. If this story moved you, if you believe Africa deserves leaders who serve the people, not foreign masters, then don't just watch. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it so the world hears our roar, and drop a comment. What does African dignity mean to you? This is more than content. This is the movement. Pan-African Hub, where Africa speaks for itself.